I've been a FNaF fan for quite some time, since 2015 I think. Over the time, it has come back to me from time and time again. From the main franchise itself, to the fan games, and the VHS tapes. So, for once, I've decided to join YouTube and take my part in it for the furious part of it. Today we are exploring the fan-made VHS tape series, The Walten Files by Martin Walls. Now I'm just wanting to make clear that I'm trying to figure out the full timeline instead of theories. I'll let the theory part up to other people out there as it is their original work and they clearly deserve it for their work. So I'm just going to be seeing what they have done and try to put it all together to see how their work has gone for. Shout out to Predicted Cyborg and possibly other people doing so. So let's get on with it.
Walten File spoilers and graphic and gory content is in this. Viewer discretion is advised.
So it all starts in the mid-1940s when Jack Walten is born and then Felix Kranken is born. I'm not entirely sure who came first and who came second, but I doubt that it matters. Later on, around 1958 or prior, Jack and Felix become friends, probably in primary school, high school, one of the two. Anyway, later in 1958, they start designing the animatronics, and Cyberfun tech is found by the two, along with Bunny Smiles Incorporated being found as well. Later on, Felix Kranken is married, and then Jack Walten is married a few years, possibly later, getting married to a woman called Rosemary, and later getting pregnant and having 3 children, one of them being Sophie. Later on, in 1974, Bond's Burgers is set to open on June 28th in Brighton, Michigan. Now, just a quick side note, if you do actually search it up, you actually go to a restaurant, like a real restaurant, but it's not actually Bond's Burgers. I can't remember what it was exactly, just giving you a heads up there. Also, it's set to open on the June 28th, just clearing that up as well. Anyway, later, Bunny Smiles Incorporated, the technical support tape is made, which is the first tape on the first video of the Walten Files, if you didn't know. Then, later on, Sophie possibly becomes the facility caretaker, perhaps? I mean, the suit in the first video kind of proves it, unless it's for a future video, or it's not Sophie in the video entirely, it's just a completely different person, but I highly doubt it. Also, the birthday tape from the Relocate project video is made on June the 11th, which is also the same day that Jack Walten goes missing, possibly being murdered by Felix and put into Bond. It hasn't actually been confirmed that Bond is inside of Jack, it's just possibly what's going on. So later on, Bond, with Jack possibly being inside of Bond, lures a kid called Susan into a room, possibly the back doors, and then puts her inside of Banny, eventually starving to death as being set by the Relocate project episode, and then starts to possess Banny. Rosemary, meanwhile, is starting to get depression with Jack's disappearance and starts going to Bond Burgers every night to see if he is there, but with no luck. One night, she hears a voice from the backstage and goes to the backstage, but only to find Bond and gets slaughtered and then put inside Shah, the sheep, and is then starting to possess her. Don't know what's wrong with my words there. Later on, Bond's Burgers closes on the 20th of June, with too many incidents happening. Later on, also, a side note, the reprogramming phase Banny tape is made on August the 13th. Not too much, but I think it kind of confirms that the relocate project was already set into action, or at least in its early stages. And Bond's Burgers is condemned before Halloween, as seen by the Lucky You video. Later on, the plans for the relocate project is being worked on December 10th, as seen by Lucky You again. Later on, in 1975? Hold on. This is quite confusing here, hold on. Cyberfun takes the animatronics on January the 23rd to the BSI facility for the relocate project to be made into action. And then later, on March the 23rd, Cyberfun Tech puts the BSI storage facility, or K9, into action, with Felix Kranken in as the leader, hoping to reopen Bond's doors with enough money. A while later, Brian Stells takes the place as the facility caretaker. Later on, after a few years in development, in 1978, BSI moves the animatronics to the relocate to the facility, or plans to do something about the relocate project. I'm not entirely 100% sure. But later, on July the 2nd, the relocate project tape is made, which is the first tape from the second episode as well, along with merch being made and hopefully being sold as well. And later, on January the 9th, the K9 Relocate Project technical support tape is made, with Rosemary talking to Sophie, asking where she is inside of it. I mean, it's possibly how Squimpus McGrimpus's tapes work, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, now we get to the big stuff. This is the main part of the Relocate Project, I think. So, later on, the 12th to the 14th of July, 1978, Hilary B., Ashley P., and Kevin W., who are the three people who volunteered to be the technicians, stay 3 days in the BSI storage facility to reprogram the animatronics for the Relocate project, but unfortunately ultimately failing. And that's when Ashley finds the key given by them from Cyberfun, goes to the back doors, and finds multiple rooms inside of it, ranging from unused animatronics and endos, spare heads, much stuff, a buddy puppet or animatronic, it's quite hard to tell, and Billy the Clown. Going back to find a tape in a previous room, which is actually the birthday tape from 1974, puts it inside of Billy, which at first plays a happy birthday song before saying,
Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary.
When it stops, the lights go out and Ashley is slain and put inside Billy by Bond, making her. The others, thinking Ashley left early, left. The caretakers would complain about the smell in the back doors, not knowing that it was actually Ashley inside of Billy. The Relocate project was then shut down with further instructions, making the Relocate project, unfortunately, unsuccessful. A year later, in 1979, Sunlight Animation, a company with the help of Bunny Smiles Incorporated, make a children's TV show called Little Bond's Neighborhood. The episode we see is Bond's Super Sleepover. Now, fun fact, actually, the house that appears on the logo of the series, Brighton 27, is many believed to be the Waltens' house. Not sure if there's much support to help this theory, but it's an interesting theory nonetheless. Anyway, moving forward to the final stages of what we have so far of the timeline from this standpoint. Moving 4 years later, on 12:44 a.m., the 10th of October 1982, Brian Stells, still taking the place as facility caretaker, starts working and finds the facility. When inside, says that it smells like a sewer. Brian then starts working on the Bond animatronic and starts activating it, hoping to reprogram the animatronics himself, unlike the teens from 4 years prior. But while doing so, Bond activates starts laughing, glitchy, distorted, and starts moving by itself, and then starts attacking Brian. Brian, luckily escaping, says before getting tripping, I believe, and eventually ultimately dies by Bond, thinking that he was Sophie. Now, I believe that the faces scene might be Bond's facial recognition, trying to figure out how people look, but ultimately sees them as Sophie. Could be the same for Rosemary or Ashley. Just something to think about. Anyway, and a year later, 1983, Bunny Smiles vanishes, along with Cyberfun disappearing as well.
And that is the end of the Walten Files timeline. Or at least until Bunny Farm comes out.
So, there you have it, the full Walten Files timeline as of August 2020. I hope you enjoyed it. I do believe that there are some things that I missed out or got incomplete. Absolutely. So, please let me know in the comments if you spotted anything that's not correct or anything else. That would be great. But apart from that, if you did enjoy this video, then please consider liking it, and if you're brand new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to get notifications on when I do other theory videos on other FNaF-like series or franchises. Also, Martin Walls, if you're watching this, then I just want you to know that I enjoyed the series very much. It is very well done, and the voice actors are terrific. I honestly don't know what else to say because it's just that good. So, I'm definitely proud of your work, and I'm definitely looking forward to the Walten Files 3. I'm sure that it'll be lots of fun, 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 lots of fun.
I wonder what will happen.